I'm going to show you how I make my blanket type pack with a canvas tarp. So this one I've got in a Bivy configuration. You can see I've got just the grommets tied up and a foot box made by pulling the bottom part over. It just makes it stay on your feet a lot better, doesn't roll off when you're sleeping. And then this obviously just folds over the top and you can sleep very comfortably. Because it's a canvas, it's also breathable. But in here, I like to try to get all this gunk out so I'm not carrying leaves and stuff with me. But you can see my sleeping bag, my sleeping pad, and then here I've got my wool blanket. And all I've got to do with this is just, I like to fold up my wool blanket so it's a little bit neater. Because the neater you have your pack, the less wear spots it's going to have on you, and also the easier it is to get it nice and tight so then it doesn't fall apart. All right, that'll do. I'm just going to take this, stick it down in the bottom there, make my sleeping bag lay kind of flat too. All right, and then I'm going to take anything I want to put on the inside. So I've got my food bag, and I just went ahead and put everything else that I'm going to be using, or everything else that I don't need during the day in here. This is not the kind of pack you want to get into multiple times a day. I like to use it with some type of fanny pack. Basically anything I don't need, I'm going to stick in there. So I've got my food set up there. And the side that's facing the camera is going to be my bottom. So because I've got it folded over like this, it creates this nice little, basically a spot I can push things against at the bottom here because it's creased. If I were to push it against this, obviously they could come out. And then what we're going to do is we're going to fold this over. So I've got that food, got my extra water in my cook pot. I'm just going to stick that in there too. All right, now the fun part. So I'm going to take this side and fold it over and brush off some of this gunk. And you can make this as wide as you want. This is kind of a smaller size to make it, but for what I'm doing where I've got this fanny pack, it actually works really well. Then what I want to do with this bottom side is I want to fold it over and find my stuff. I like to give a little bit of space before I hit my stuff because that allows me to pull this side over. So I'm just gonna pull this side, butt my stuff up against my legs, flip it over, and then I'm gonna roll. So what that did is that gives me this nice package, this nice tight tarp to roll for my pack. The tighter you have it, the better. So you're gonna find, when you've got a sleeping bag or an air mattress in there, obviously you want to deflate your air mattress, but there's still gonna be a little bit of air caught in both of those things. And so the tighter you can get it, the less you're gonna have to deal with those things having extra air in them. All right. Oh, we have hit the side here. I'm actually just gonna fold this in so we don't have the edge there on the outside. Now, I can take my rope and I can tie it up. So the knot that I'm going to use here is first off, I've got a loop on this side, so you can see that loop there. So I'm gonna take that loop around it, and actually, this side on the top here is gonna be the side on my back. So I want to flip this over, get the side away from my back, up for now. Take the rope around the bag, feed it through that loop, pull out all the excess, and then I'm just gonna crank it down. And the tighter the better. So before I get it too tight, what I like to do is just stick a bite. So it's just a piece of the rope underneath. And that allows me to really crank it down, and then I can pinch it. And this bite that I have is now gonna go through the line right there. And I'm just gonna pull it tight. So that bite, I'm gonna keep that out and then just cinch it up against it there and pull any excess that I don't want. All right, so now if I were to continue with my pack, this is just a slip knot, so it'll pull out. So I want to take the rope, I want to twist it towards the bite and put it over the top and pull it tight. That means that I can tug on this rope all I want, and this loop is not going to come out. And we'll use that loop for something later. So I come down a little bit. What I'm shooting for is I want 3 sections here. If you've got a really long pack, you'll do more than 3, but I can just do 3. So I just wrapped it around the pack and then stuck it through itself to make my 3rd section. So you kind of get it roughly in the middle, and then you're going to do that same thing. You pull away from yourself to get more tension, to pull towards yourself and lock it in. And you can just kind of work it like that. Now this one we don't have to lock in, and we can just come to the next one and do the same thing there. Away from myself, then back towards myself. And away and back towards. Now we're gonna flip it. The rope should go underneath the bottom, and we're gonna do 2 loops underneath this. So pull it tight, loop it through. To do this easier, I make a bite and then pull it through again, and then I just pull that bite all the way out. And you can kind of cinch that up and make it tight. So you want to go under with a bite, then bring it back through, then pull out all of your excess rope. And these don't have to be insanely tight. You can just pull them under. Basically, you're just looking to keep that gap there, but you don't want any knots on the back here. If you were to tie a bunch of knots, those are going to wear against your back, because this is going against my back. Now that I've got to the end there, I just go over the top and back to the loop that we created. All right, so now is the point where you want to add anything that you want to go on the top. So I like to put my rain jacket on the top here. That way, if it starts to rain, I can get it. And then I'm also going to add, for this one, I'm going to add my hand reel on the top here as well. So for that, because it's got these 2 slots, I'm just going to pull through it just like that. And now I'm going to go through that loop. So now that I've got it through that loop, I can really pull it tight. And I can come back across. And now here I want to come at more of a diagonal. This will help lock in this rain poncho on the top. Come to the side here, pull it tight, come to the other side, and I'm just, instead of going through the loop again, I'm just going to go through one of these sides. If I can, I got it nice and tight. right, I got through there, and then I'm just gonna tuck it under, make another one of those bites, size it up to the size, and then again, flip the rope towards the bite to make another loop, and cinch it around that loop. And now I can just tuck that rope, all that excess in there. And now we're ready for the straps. So I can use, you can use a bandana for it. You just tie one bandana up here, one down here, and you're good to go. But for this one, I've been using a shemagh. So this is just a big square of cloth, and I'm just going to fold the corners down and then kind of roll it on itself. Now I don't want these corners on the very edge, because that will make it make a weak point. I find that these shemaghs tend to rip pretty easily, so I kind of want to twist it so it's as strong as possible. Now if you think about the load of the pack, this is going to be wanting to sit downward, so I want to put my shemagh underneath this. If you're doing your bandanas, you just tie them to this and it's no big deal, but for this I'm going to put it underneath like that, and you kind of get it even, and then you bring it down here and you go down through, then you go out around the outside, and that creates this loop that you tuck it back through. And you want to pull on this tail side. And basically you're looking for not quite an elbow to get underneath, but a good amount. You'll kind of learn how much you need for your straps as you go. So around to the outside, so under the strap, or under the this rope on the pack, to the outside, around, and then back through this outside heel. And there we go. And then I like to tuck these in to that strap so then they're not getting in the way as I'm walking. And there we go. We got 2 even straps. Now, when I put it on, all I have to do is grab both of these, swing it over onto my back. And it's certainly not as easy as a normal backpack, but it's not that hard either. And there we go. Got the pack on, good to go.